down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 Hayes Larks season. This is Larks Network. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. Welcome back to the 75th anniversary season for your Hayes Larks. Wyatt Davis on the bump today for the Larks as they take on the Northern Colorado Roughnecks. First pitch from Davis is a strike. 0-1. Davis comes in this game with a fastball, a changeup, and a slider. Asking him about it. Just 3 pitches, he said, "It's all I need." Seth Keener leads it off for the Roughnecks, sends a slow grounder to Core Jackson, the shortstop for the Larks, for out number 1 to get the season going.
The catcher, number 18, Gavin Mendoza.
So coming to the plate will be Gavin Mendoza for the Roughnecks. Davis comes in this one. This is his 3rd year with the Larks. He's a 5'10 senior from Lincoln, Nebraska, plays for the UT Arlington Mavericks at the Sun Belt Conference in the NCAA Division I. Gets set, he'll go from the stretch for his first delivery to Mendoza. Changeup outside, 1-0. Mendoza tonight's starting catcher for the Roughnecks. He's from Southeast Junior College. Northwestern Oklahoma State University. This one, a fastball in the zone from Davis, 1-1. The Larks line up tonight with Schmidt in left field, Jaminian in center, Palmer in right field, and then Larks returning guys, Cam Pearson at first base, Grant Long at second base, newcomers, Core Jackson at shortstop, Sam Crowell behind the plate, and then Hayes native Palmer Hutchison at the hot corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Davis to Mendoza. Davis in his senior year at UTA made 11 appearances with a 5.14 ERA through 14 innings. And he'll get Mendoza out on called strikes, catches him looking for out number 2 to get the top of the first going.
The designated hitter, number 13, A.J. Ortiz.
So to the plate is A.J. Cortines, the designated hitter for the Roughnecks. He's from Colby Community College. He'll step into the right-hander's batter's box to face the right-handed Davis. 2 out, nobody on. First delivery to him is a slider in the zone for a called strike. Davis last year with the Larks made 11 appearances with a 3-0 record, had an ERA below 1 of .64. Every time the Larks turned to him throughout the season, he came out and delivered. You knew you were getting dubbed when Davis stepped to the mound. Gets him to swing under a changeup, and quick, 2 strikes. Go from the stretch here. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs, and a changeup just above the letters. On deck for the Roughnecks is Jackson Bakovich, the 3rd baseman. Gets him to swing above a changeup, under a changeup for strike 3. Sam Crowell will throw to Cam Harrison at first base. 3 up, 3 down to get the season going for the Larks. Thanks to Wyatt Davis. We'll be back for the bottom half of this inning on Larks Network. for the Larks here in the bottom of the first will be the second baseman, Grant Lung, his third season with the Larks, his second full season. He was a notable addition to the KCLB tournament back in 2019. We're excited to have him back. Right-hander that bats in the left-hander's batter's box takes a strike one, looking off the hand of Cesar Loma for the Roughnecks. Loma from McPherson. 0-1 to Lung is an off-speed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lung from the University of Sioux Falls. The Cougars from Pierre, Arizona. Batted .290 in his last season at USF and drove in 38 runs in 42 games. 1-1 becomes 2-1 as Cam Pearson waits on deck with Leo Jimion in the hole. Lung last year with the Larks batted .283 with a .459 on base percentage. Larks missed him in the NBC tournament due to some unfortunate circumstances. He had to leave early, but we're excited to have him back. Appeared in 26 games, and he had the least strikeouts on the team among players with over 100 at-bats. Has himself a quick hitter's count from Loma and is swinging on the 5th pitch. Chops it to the first baseman, Covey, who tags the base himself for out number 1. So that'll bring up Cam Pearson for the Larks, the first baseman batting in the 2-hole. Another returner. Larks bringing back quite the squad.
Cochise Community College, number 17, Cam Pearson.
Cam played for the Cochise College Apaches for his last 2 years. Just wrapped up his second freshman year there with 31 games, batting .312. Last year with the Larks appeared in 32 games, played in every game, led the team in home runs, and led the team in hits and total bases as well. Loma will go from the windup. Righty versus righty matchup. Off-speed breaking ball. Misses the zone low and outside. 1-0. Pearson from Gilbert, Arizona, staying in Arizona to go to Cochise, will have 1 year left of JUCO eligibility after this season. 2-1 reads the scoreboard here at Larks Park. Pearson, a great hitter. As I mentioned, led the Larks in total bases last year. Just did a lot of damage every time he came up to the plate. This one low and catches the knees for Pearson. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a beautiful evening here from Larks Park. A great turnout, wind slightly moving in from center field for the opening day ball game. Takes this one opposite field on the ground. It's between Vitae and Covey. It's a 1-out base hit for Cam Pearson, his first of the season. So just like that, runner on base for the Larks, and Leo Jimion will come to the dish.
The center fielder from Clarendon College, number 8, Leo Jimion.
Leo hails from St. Lo, France, and played for the Clarendon College Bulldogs. Is headed to Eastern Tennessee State University with 3 years of eligibility left. Check over at Cam. He's back in without any trouble. Leo also started in all 32 games for the Larks last year. All 3 guys to start the order for the Larks, returners. All speed above the letters. Larks sporting their brand new cream retro uniforms with the blue helmets, new blue hats. Roughnecks coming this one sporting an all-gray uniform with a black hat, black lettering. Cam gets his lead over at first base. Leo waits his pitch. Fastball way low off the turf, 2-0. Leo, 5'9", redshirt freshman, played in 52 games at Clarendon this year, led the team in hits with 86 and scored 69 runs. And he didn't lead those by a small margin. The closest guy in runs had 14 less than him. Second guy for triples had 3 less than him. And the second place guy for hits had 5 less than Leo. Just a great year after having a shortened 2020 season down in Texas. 2-0, he's not biting one over the letters. 3-0, and Frank Leo likes to give his guys the green light during Summer League. Leo looks for a sign, doesn't get one. We'll see what Leo wants to do here, and so likely see a fastball from Loma. and watches fastball right down the middle. It's a hitter's count for the French center fielder. Grant Schmidt, the Fort Hays outfielder for the Larks, is on deck with Sam Crowell in the hole. Takes a cut under this one just below it and fouls it back. Full count, we'll get a payoff pitch. Leo was a member of the youth national teams when he played in France, invited to the senior team, and played on the MLB World Select team. Loma delivers, Cam takes off. It's a payoff pitch that is fouled off. It was a tater tot toss to Jeminian. Had a lot of time to wait on it, and Cam will head back to first base. We'll get a second payoff pitch. Payoff pitch again. Leo swings at this one, and Pearson also takes off. He'll be forced to head back to first base. Three-two count with one away here in the bottom of the first. Still no score as Leo gives a sign. Frank Leo, head coach from third base, gives the signs to Cam Pearson at first base. Cam takes off yet again. Leo way ahead of this one again. Fouls it off to stay alive. We'll get a fourth payoff pitch as Leo is working Loma's count early. Exactly what you want to see out of the three spot facing a guy in his first game. So the first game of the Larks season. Last year, the Larks went 22-10, 20-8 in league play. They won the Rocky Mountain Baseball League in their first year with the league. At the NBC, they won their first two games and then dropped the second two in the losers bracket. Check over at Pearson, not in time. Cam holds up, and another payoff pitch is fouled off. Leo Jeminian will stay alive. Leo Jeminian led the team in stolen bases last year with 15. Every time he got to first, he was taken off. Loma delivers. Pearson takes off. Swing and a miss from Jimmy-on. And the throw, had it been caught, would have been in time. Instead, Pearson gets his first stolen base of the season. And there's a runner in scoring position with two away. Still a great at-bat for Jimmy-on.
From Fort Hays State University, the left fielder, tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, number 21, Grant Schmidt.
Grant Schmidt will step into the batter's box for the Larks, the left fielder batting in the cleanup spot. It's a redshirt junior for Fort Hays from Hastings, Nebraska. Stands at 6'3" and awaits his first pitch. Pearson dancing around at second base, gets a look from Loma, who delivers home and gets a strike called on Schmidt. Due up for the Roughnecks in the top of the second will be Bakovic, Covey, and Bannister. Loma looks at Pearson, goes home from the stretch. His off-speed really is much slower than his fastball and has got a few of the Larks way ahead of it, and Schmidt was ahead of that one, fouls it off for a second strike. On deck is Sam Crowell, the catcher from UTA. Loma looks in, gets a sign from Mendoza, and goes home. This one off the turf, another off-speed 1-2. 1-2 becomes 2-2 after this one misses outside. 2 balls in, 2 strikes with 2 away, runner on second here in the bottom of the first. At Fort Hays this year, Grant batted .316 with 25 extra base hits and hit 11 home runs. Loma delivers above the letters, full count, his second full count of the inning. Packed crowd again here at Larks Park continues to fill in. Stadium stands are packed here, and the Larks Pavilion on the left side of the field is also plenty full. Expected to stay all the way that weekend, as it's the first time Larks fans have been really amped up to get a season going after last year was started late and with limited capacity. Payoff pitch to Schmidt, misses the zone high. It's a walk for Grant. 2 on, 2 out for the 5-hole Sam Crow.
From the University of Texas at Arlington, the catcher, number 15, Sam Crowell.
Crow from UT Arlington, a 6'1" freshman from Heath, Texas. He's one of 5 guys on the team from UT Arlington. His first delivery from Loma off speed in the low zone, 1-0. Crow appeared in 4 games for the Mavericks this year, picked up just as many hits and 3 RBIs. Coming out of high school, he was a 6A All-District First Team and a 2019 selectee of the Sports Day All-Area Baseball Team. Fouls this one off, 1-1. Off speed low, 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 away. Crowell's senior year of high school was cut short, but he still got his name out to recruiters. He was a 195th overall player in Texas and rated the 22nd best catcher in the state. Delivery to him just a bit in front of this one, chops it foul slowly, 2-2. It's been a long bottom half of the first. Let's see how Wyatt Davis is able to come out for the top of the second. Harrison moves around at second base, catches the attention of Loma, looks at him a while, and then Corral sends one deep to left field. First game as a Lark and sends it over the fence. It's a 3-run shot to get the season going for the freshman from Heath, Texas. And just like that, like nothing happened over the season, the Larks fans are getting loud. And the Larks take a 3-0 lead over the Roughnecks. How about a debut? So that brings home Cam Pearson and Grant Schmidt. Crown picks up 3 RBIs in his first game of Summer League Baseball. Very similar to his teammate Matt Cavanaugh at UTA, who's coming up here next week for his 3rd year with the Larks. But Matt's first game as a Lark back in 2019, his first at-bat, he sent one deep to left field for a solo shot. Ended up going 4 for 4 in that game, and that's just the same. Great start for Crow. So that'll bring up third baseman for the Larks, Palmer Hutchison from Hays, Kansas. Plays for Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Spent 2 years there and had a great year for the Blue Devils. 1-1 as this one misses outside. Palmer led the Blue Devils with 52 runs, 62 RBIs, a .700 slugging percentage, and 19 home runs. He had the most RBIs on the team by 12. Played for head coach Frank Leo back in high school, and this is his 2nd year on the Larks with them. 2-1 to Hutch. He made 2 appearances for the Larks in 2019, but last year was his first full season. Picked up 28 games, 16 hits, and drove in 7 runs. 2-1 becomes 2-2 as this one does catch the zone.
We don't have a walkout for number 17.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The delivery is a bum to Lenders. We'll get another payoff pitch from Loma. Cade Brown on deck. Palmer waiting in the hole, a foul ball. Palmer Hutchison at the plate. Tyler Palmer in the hole for your Larks. Hutch, a 6'2 freshman, still has 3 years of eligibility left. Will be looking for a new school after spending 2 years at KCK. And the payoff pitch misses the zone. It's the second walk of the inning for Loma, who walked Schmidt earlier. So we'll get a mound meeting here early with only 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. Larks continue to see a struggling Loma. Came out, got a ground out of a great hitter, Grant Lung, but since then allowed a single to Cam Harrison, a walk to Grant Schmidt, a walk to Palmer Hutchison, and then obviously a 3-run shot from Sam Crow. Cade Brown redshirted, and he's coming to the plate. He redshirted at Oklahoma out of the Big 12. He's from Cardiff, California. Stands at 6'4".
Tonight's designated hitter from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown.
Did not play in 2020 and redshirt in 2021. Before that, he played for the University of San Diego, where he just pitched. In 2019, he picked up 19 appearances and a 2-1 record. First pitch to him is a strike. This is the 7th hitter the Larks will bring to the plate in this inning. And this one is off the chest protector of Mendoza, and it will keep Hutch at first base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cade Brown in the 2019 Summer League made 87 at-bats, drove in 11 runs, and picked up 25 total bases. And it appears Oklahoma wants him only as a pitcher, but he'll show off his hitting. And this one sends a blooper to right field, and it's going to be a great catch from Bannister to get the 3rd out of the inning. Larks bring 7 to the plate, leave 1 on base, but pick up 3 runs as we go to the top of the 2nd here on Larks Network 3-0.
Perfect. Perfect.
Top of the second we go here on Larks Network. Wyatt Divis returns to the mound. First pitch from him is a ball, 1-0. Leading off this inning for the Roughnecks is Jackson Bakovic, the third baseman, batting the cleanup spot. 1-1 to him. Slider from Divis just misses the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. White has thrown 11 pitches, 8 of those being strikes. Got a 1-2-3 first, and it's got Keener to ground out, and then back-to-back strikeouts sent the Roughnecks down in order. Bakovic leading off. He's from CSM, listed as a pitcher on the roster. Evidently can do a little bit of it all, as he'll hit in the cleanup spot and sends one backwards for a full count. Divis will go from the stretch. Gets a pop fly to right field. Lung and Palmer chase it. Lung is going to get called off by Tyler Palmer, who catches it and gives us a slide for a loud first out. So Divis wasted no time to catch his groove back in Hays, Kansas. Divis in his career at UTA had a 6-0 record, made 32 appearances, and has a 4.12 ERA. His senior year, first senior year back in 2020, made 4 appearances and didn't allow a single run until it was cut short. Gets one grounded right back to him, tosses it over underhand to Pearson, and Zane Covey goes down on 1 pitch. Five up, 5 down for the Roughnecks to get this game going. 2 away with the bases empty. To Jacob Bannister, the right fielder, batting in the 6th spot. Bannister from the University of Northern Colorado is a freshman. Divis always goes from the stretch regardless if there's runners on or not, and fools Bannister with a slider. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the inning will be Tyler Palmer, Core Jackson, and then back to the top of the order, Grant Lung. Ground ball to the Larks dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. Divis isn't a guy who likes to waste time between pitches. When he's ready to go, he goes, and he gets a lot of guys out, and he'll go from the stretch. This delivery, a nice slider with a lot of movement and heat. Misses outside, and some of the Larks were ready to head off the field, as this one just misses outside. The 1-2 from the Maverick, another slider, and it'll be fouled off. On deck for the Roughnecks is Nash Phillips. And another slider. This one, he will get a drop third strike. Makes sure his catcher, Sam Crowell, gets to it and throws to first base. 3 up, 3 down in the second is Divis' 3rd strikeout of the game, and the Larks lead 3-0. Leading off for the Larks in the bottom of the second will be Tyler Palmer out of the University of Nebraska. His first delivery misses the zone, 1-0. Tyler out of Columbus, Nebraska, stayed in state. He's a 6'1 freshman. In high school, he set his school record for stolen bases with 38, and this year at Nebraska didn't pick up any stats. Likely a red shirt. One ball and 2 strikes to Palmer. A new first base coach for the Larks is Max McGuire, another Nebraska native. He spent 2 years with the Larks programs in 2019 and 2020. This year, his first year as a coach, replacing the beloved Bryce Baumwart. 2-2 for the right fielder, Cornhusker. And hits one hard at third base. Bakovic can't make a play on it, and it's going to be a leadoff single for Tyler Palmer. Read that one all the way to his bat and sent it hard to the hot corner, and it is officially ruled a hit. So to the bottom of the order, it's Cord Jackson. Just finished up his senior year of high school in Ontario, Canada. The 5'11 freshman is now heading to Nebraska. He'll be teammates with the guy standing at first base, Tyler Palmer. Check over at Palmer, who is a very speedy player. Picked up a wonderful 60 time in high school and obviously set that career mark. Cord Jackson is a 2-time Ontario Baseball Association champion. Throws right-handed, but it'll hit from the left-hander's side. And just like that, on the first pitch he's ever on base in the Larks uniform, he naps second base. And just like that, Larks have another guy in scoring position. Speed is something Frank Leo loves. And having guys like Leo Jimion and Tyler Palmer in the lineup is a luxury that we'll likely see him utilize. Loma looks at Palmer. Doesn't have a huge lead, but still enough to get Loma's attention. Delivers home, and Jackson sends this one backwards, 1-1.
Back to the Larks nest, you get another courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
Core is the number 4 player in Ontario, according to Perfect Game, and the number 2 shortstop in the same area. Larks fans, make sure you follow Larks on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe while you're on YouTube. 2-1 to Cord Jackson, the shortstop. On deck is Grant Lung, who grounded out to start the bottom of the last inning. Loma getting his pitch count worked early in this one, facing his 9th batter and has only gotten 3 outs. That was his 49th pitch home, and it's fouled over into the Larks bullpen. Well, it'll be a short day likely for Loma unless he can turn something around. This will be his 50th pitch, and he's only pitched 1 inning statistically. Has not really been that accurate in the zone, throwing strikes on just above 50% of his pitches, unlike Wyatt Davis, who's thrown strikes on 73% of his pitches thus far. This delivery will miss the zone. Good eye from the youngster, and it's a full count. Dig back into left-hander's batter's box here at Larks Park with Tyler Palmer on second. Anything into the outfield would likely score Tyler. We won't get a payoff pitch as he'll turn and check on Palmer. And then no throw. This payoff pitch is going to miss the zone. It is the 3rd walk of the ball game for Cesar Luma. Runners on first and second with still nobody out, and Grant Long makes his second at bat.
Second baseman number 2, Grant
Great RBI opportunity here for Lung early. Picked up 22 last year, scored 25 himself, the Larks. It's his third year playing Summer League in Kansas. In 2019, he played mostly for the Valley City Mud Daubers, where he led the team in almost every stat category. Games, batting average, on base percentage, and sends a nice line drive into left field. And Frank Leo, who will wisely hold up Tyler Palmer at third, puts the first hit of the 2021 season for Grant Lung, who had 26 last year, and the bases are jacked with nobody out. Well hit for Lung, and he puts two in scoring position. Kane will dig into the right-hander's batter's box. A great opportunity for the guy who had 23 RBIs last year. Swings under this one, 0-1. Sends one deep to left field. Moving back is Phillips. He's at the wall. Can't make the catch. Palmer heads home. Cord Jackson will be held at third. What could have been a double for Pearson, driving in maybe two had they not had to tag up. It's still a base hit and an RBI for Cam. Scoring for the first time in a Larks uniform is Tyler Palmer, already making a great impact. So make it a 4-0 ball game as the bases are still loaded for the three-hole Leo Jimian. It is Cord Jackson at third base, Grant Lung at second, and Cam Pearson at first base. First delivery to Jiminian. He hits it nicely to left field, beautifully placed, and that'll score three, it looks like. Jiminian around second and heads to third. Coming home and scoring all the way from first is Cam Pearson. He took it opposite field, hit it where they ain't, and he makes it a 7-0 ball game with another triple. Just a wonderfully placed ball, and Loma continuing to see the full extent of the Larks at bats. So still nobody out, as the Larks have put 7 on the board.
He said Jimmy, that's why I'm doing that. Oh, he did? Yes, he did. Oh, okay. Thank you.
1-0 to Grant Schmidt, who walked in the first and came around to score. Grant Lum picked up a run there, so did Cord Jackson, and Cam Pearson scored his second run of the season on one swing of the bat, thanks to Leo. Larks picked up 3 in the first and have scored 4 in the second. Still nobody out. They're just hitting the ball and seeing Loma. This is the second time through the order for the Larks. Schmidt hits this one a mile high into shallow left center. Leo Jiminian is going to tag. Making the catch is Keener, and Jiminian wisely holds up at third base. Just wasn't hit quite far enough, but it's out number 1. So now to the plate is Sam Corral, who hit a 3-run shot between the 349 and 322 sign in left field. So we hit the Larks their first 3 runs of the season. It's 322 in the left corner, 319 in the right corner, and then 405 to deep center. If you want to hit a home run at Larks Park, it's easier, much easier to take it to the opposite side, or excuse me, to the left field or right field side. Not that it's easy, but if you're going to hit a home run, that's where you want to be targeting. 1-0 to Corral. So with one swing of the bat, he ties what he did at UTA this year. UTA has a very talented roster. It's tough to get a lot of looks, especially when you're a freshman. We've seen that from a lot of players who have come from UTA. This will be a great experience for him to get some plate appearances and head back to Arlington next year with an improved skill set. And he's already showing here that he has a great skill set. He's picked up 3 RBIs in one at bat. And showing here that he's a patient hitter, taking 3 straight balls. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk, and we might be seeing close to the end of Loma's day. So that puts runners on the corner still with only 1 away, and we'll get a courtesy runner as crowd will head to the dugout to get some gear put on to catch. So that'll be Zach Henry, his teammate at UTA, coming on to run for him. Calling time is Mendoza. The Roughnecks have Phillips, Keener, and Bannister moving from left to right in the outfield. Bakovic in the hot corner, Hamill at shortstop, Vate at second, Covey at first, and Mendoza is tonight's backstop for Northern Colorado. Taking off from first base is Zach Henry, and he's in plenty of time. And they'll say he pulled his hand off the bag, had some great speed, beat the throw, and just that little unfortunate slip happened. Coach Leo gives him some words of encouragement as he heads back to dugout. Frank Leo, the head coach, is a 2015 NBC Hall of Fame inductee, was the 2005 Kansas Sports Hall of Fame inductee, and in 1998 was the Kansas Coach of the Year and Region 5 National Coach of the Year. He's back with the Larks. You can't have Larks baseball without Frank Leo. He's been here for multiple decades. This is the Larks' 75th anniversary, and he's changed the course of the program and just elevated to what it was before. It would almost be nothing without him. His coaching staff features Max McGuire, who I mentioned is coaching at first base, and then pitching coach Keith Harper. 2-1 becomes 2-2 as Hutch sends this one backwards. Hutch walked in the first inning and then was stranded at first base. Palmer takes this one opposite field. Bannister moves close to the wall, and it'll be out of play. Had some nice distance on it, just a tad too late. On deck is Cade Brown, who was the last out of the first inning. Nice eye from Palmer. Full count. It's been a long inning that was capped off by Jimmy On's great 3-run triple where he hit it well, and everybody knew it was going to drop, so they were able to take off full speed, and he did the same. Just can't ride it better than that. And Hutch walks, back-to-back walks for Loma, brings up the 9th hitter of the inning. So Hutchison has made 2 plate appearances, still won't have an at-bat on his stat sheet. He's picked up 2 walks, but has a perfect on-base percentage.
The designated hitter, number 28, Cade Brown.
Loma has thrown 68 pitches through 1 2/3 innings. Brown just behind this one, and it's a foul ball. Larks are a 5-time NBC World Series runner-up, still looking for their first championship. They've had 14 top 5 finishes. A notable program they've had great, such as Albert Pujols, a 3-time NL MVP, a 10-time All-Star, who's now playing with the Dodgers and will be a first ballot unanimous Hall of Famer. Also seen guys like Lance Berkman, a 6-time All-Star, come through. Jack Wilson, 2004 All-Star and a Silver Slugger, come through. B.J. Ryan, a 2-time All-Star, come through. Jace Tingler, who's currently the manager of the great San Diego Padres, leading them to a great record. Just a lot of talented guys that come through, and legacy is built right here in the Heartland. And there's 9 guys on the field and in the order tonight for the Larks, trying to create their own. 1-2 to the DH. Watches this one miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 away and 2 on. Brown utilized as a pitcher in college, like I mentioned, but out of high school, he was ranked as the 5th best first baseman in California and the 26th best first baseman nationally, with a perfect game grade of 9.5. And if you know anything about perfect games grading system, that's about the best it gets. He works the count well here and will get a payoff pitch. Sends this one to the hot corner. Bonkovic fields it and throws across the diamond. Larks get 4 in the second off of a triple from Leo Geminian. And another hit. And that sends us to the 3rd inning. Larks up 7-0 on Larks Network. Top of the 3rd we go on Larks Network. They get off. Will be the 7th hole, the left fielder, Nash Phillips. His first relief from Wyatt Davis in front of a changeup. Davis gets him again to miss at this one. Quick 2 strikes. Davis, like I mentioned earlier, just a stud for the Larks last year. This is his 4th year in Hays, Kansas. He was a great leader and a great influence on the clubhouse last year. Gets him to foul off an 0-2. We'll get the 4th pitch of the AB coming up. Davis played 2 years at Hutchinson before transferring to spend 3 years at UTA. At Hutch, he picked up 127 hits as a hitter. He batted .384, and then on the mound went 11-3 with 90 strikeouts. The 0-2 found over to the right side. Cam Pearson gives it chase over to the warning track over by first base and hits the first base ball hard and gets a big groan from the crowd who felt his pain. He's going to get attended to by Grant Long and Tyler Palmer, who came over to check on him. Like he said, he caught that fence hard in the midsection, but Cam's tough. And he'll take it off with a stride and get back to first base. And we'll stay in 0-2. In 2019, Wyatt Davis, it was his 2nd year with the Larks, made 9 appearances, led the team in wins with 5, went 5-1, and won the league co-pitcher of the year when he really should have just been the pitcher of the year. But they split up the pitching and hitter of the year awards. but he made 6 starts through 9 appearances and had a 2.7 ERA and made even more improvements last year. We'll have a drop throw strike, and Nash Phillips will get to first base. But that is Divis' 4th punch-out of the game so far. Fly ball hits right field. Tyler Palmer gives it chase. Makes his 2nd sliding catch of the game. Wow, so it's just his 3rd inning in Hayes by Tyler Palmer has made just his mark on the game so far. Stole a base, came around to score, and has made 2 sliding catches. And he keeps the runner at first base and picks up the first out of the 3rd inning. Nico Vite, the second baseman at the bottom of the order, will come to the plate. Swing and a miss. Divis in the groove early. Divis last year made 11 appearances on the mound. Started the first game of the season. It was a short one where he took a full 7 innings and a run rule. And that was just his first of only 3 starts. They used him in relief, but when he came in, he got the job done and did this so in the biggest games of the season at the NBC tournament. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Vite. This one does miss the zone. 1-2. Loma for the Roughnecks has thrown 76 pitches for Wyatt Divis. That was pitch number 30. Divis has thrown 6 first pitch strikes through his first 8 batters. And make that 7 now through his first 9. And he'll pick up strikeout number 5 on the day.
Top of the batting order, the center fielder, number 24, Seth Keener.
Seth Keener to the box, the center fielder from Northeastern Junior College, who grounded out to Cord Jackson to get the game going. Another swing and a miss. This one hit off the plate, and he still got him to chase on the slider. 0-1. Do it for the Larks in the latter half of the inning will be Tyler Palmer, Cord Jackson, and Grant Long. It'll be the 2nd straight inning Palmer has led off. Chopper to Grant Long at second base, who gets it, throws sidearm to Cam Pearson. Divis gets 2 strikeouts, a flyout, and a ground out. And that sends us to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Larks still up 7-0. Tyler Palmer will lead off the bottom of the third for your Larks. Second straight inning he's leading off. Singled and came around to score in the second. Off the bat of Grant Lung. 1-0 to him. Shows bunt, pulls back. This one misses outside. 2-0. Movement in the pin for the Roughnecks. It's a lefty. And it looks like Coy Jorgensen. This one catches the inside part of the plate. 2-1 to Tyler Palmer from the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Picked up 74 hits in high school, drove in 31 runs, and hit 4 home runs. Takes strike 2 looking. It's a full count. Larks have picked up 6 hits, 5 walks, and have left 3 guys on base and scored 7 runs through the first 2 innings. And Tyler Palmer will go down on a foul tip. 6-pitch strikeout for Cesar Luma, his second one of the ballgame. It'll be Cord Jackson to the dish now, who hit from the left-hander side. Cord singled in the last inning and then came around to score on that triple from Leo Jimeon. Outside 1-0. Foul ball over to the left side. Giving chase is Pankovic. And he can't get to it. It's out of play. Movement in the pen for the Larks, as well as we'll likely see Frank Leo put in several pitchers to get a look at all their arms in game action. And it's a right-hander. And it appears to be Jackson Blue out of UTA. 1-2 to Cord Jackson. The 1-2 to the Canadian. Sends it backwards and over the grandstand. Sends this one again out of play backwards. He'll stay alive, 1-2. On deck for the Larks is Grant Lung, and Cam Pearson is in the hole. This one a fastball, one of the fastest pitch from Loma, and it's back-to-back strikeouts. This one is looking. His third punch out of the game. 2 up, 2 down to get the third going for the Larks. Grant Lung to the dish. 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a run driven in, and a run scored. Grant in his career at the University of Sioux Falls, batting .267 through 148 games, and it has scored 87 times. He'll have 1 year of eligibility left when he heads back to South Dakota. And swings at this one. He is one of 3 guys on the team who calls Arizona home. It's from Peoria, AZ. Scoreboard reads a 2-1 count with 2 away. Base is empty here in the bottom half of the third. Grant throws right-handed but bats left-handed and sends this one up the middle on a blooper. Hamill moves from the shortstop spot about 10 feet backwards and left and makes a basket catch. Grant Lung retired for the second time today. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Cesar Loma And the Northern Colorado Roughnecks, the first time the Larks go down silent, they still lead 7-0 on Larks Network. So after 3 innings, it's a day for Wyatt Davis. No hits allowed, struck out 5 hitters. Replacing him will be Jackson Blue from the Woodlands, Texas. Plays at UT Arlington with Wyatt Davis. He's a 6'5 freshman, and he's facing, to lead off the inning, Gavin Mendoza, the catcher, who Davis struck out looking for the second out of the 2021 season. Sends this one right back at Blue, who waits on it, and they will say it hit off the plate before it got there. 1 ball and 1 strike after that foul ball. Blue graduated high school in 2020, spent this fall and spring in Arlington with Sam Crowell, Wyatt Davis, Matt Kavanaugh, and Zach Henry, his teammates from UTA that also made the trip to Hayes. We're still waiting on Matt Kavanaugh to get here. Has been a fan favorite in the Star for the Larks the past 2 years. And Frank Leo wants an explanation off of how that one was off the plate. So UTA connection with Blue on the mound, Crowell behind the plate. Still Schmidt in left field, Jimmy on in center, Palmer in right field, Lung and Pearson on the right side, Jackson and Hutchison on the left side of the infield. And Frank Leo will get his explanation from the umpire. He'll head back to dugouts. Jackson Blue, one of the highest recruited players the Larks have had in a while, was a 8.5 grade from perfect game, 16th right-handed pitcher in Texas, and the 41st overall player in Texas as well. A top 500, specifically a top 300 player from perfect game. 1-2 reads the scoreboard, and this one's hit hard on the ground to the right side, but to the right side of first base. Jackson Blue did not pick up any stats at UTA this year. Again, likely a redshirt. Throws his fifth pitch. This one misses outside 2-2. Even though he's only thrown 5 pitches, has shown his arsenal, and it looks great. 2-2. Blue from the windup. A heater with some Had some high velocity on that one, but it misses low of a full count to Mendoza. Mendoza, again, 0 for 1 on the day. Cortez on deck, Bakovic in the hole for the Rough Riders. And the payoff pitch will be a walk. It's a 7-pitch AB and a walk for Mendoza. Great at bat for the catcher. And Jackson Blue gets a runner on first. Second runner on base today for the Roughnecks, and he'll get a courtesy runner since he's the catcher. That'll bring up A.J. Cortez, the DH, who struck out against Wyatt Davis to end the top of the first. And his only plate appearance of the day. Fastball off Corral's chest protector, close to the Roughnecks dugout, and heading towards second base and rounding it is the courtesy runner. It would appear that it is Brandon Aragon at second base. 1-0 to Cortez. A different recruiting program has Jackson Blue as the 35th best pitcher in Texas, 85th overall. That's from Prep Baseball Report. 2-0. So Wyatt Davis cannot qualify for a win since he only went 3 innings in the start. Gives a look at Aragon, delivers home. This one's fouled backwards, 2-1. He's one of 6 guys on the team that go to school in Texas, 5 from UTA, and the other one is Leo Jimion, who goes to school in Clarendon, but he's headed to Eastern Tennessee State, and he's one of 4 guys on the team that call Texas home. Hitter scout to the DH. Jackson Blue is also one of 11 guys on the team who play D1 out of the 24 players on the roster. 3 D2 players, 9 JUCO, and 1 NAIA player. It'll be a 5-pitch walk, back-to-back walks, runners on the corners with nobody out. And we are going to see pitching coach Keith Harper out of the dugout for a mound visit. We'll take a quick break and be right back on Larks Network. Back in the top of the 4th, runners on the corners, nobody out for Jackson Blue in the Hayes Larks. It looks like a slider is going to be a called strike to Jackson Bakovic. It is Mendoza on 3rd, Cortez at 1st for the Rough Riders. Outside, 1-1. Two and 1. Larks had 31 different players play for them over the course of last season, added 7 heading into the NBC and lost 4 over the course of the season due to different circumstances. This one popped in the right field shallow. Grant Lung will make the catch, and Aragon starts to tag up from third. And leaving first base was Cortez in the throw to Pearson. He's not going to be able to get a handle on it. It'll be an error on Cam Pearson. It could have maybe been a triple play as a runner broke home if Cam could have got a grip on that one and thrown home. Instead, there's one away off of the Grant Lung pop fly catch, and a run comes around to score.
The first baseman, number 27, Zane Kobe.
So Gavin Mendoza walked to start the inning and then got an Aragon courtesy runner, and then he came around to score, and Jackson Blue with great reaction catches that one on a line drive and catches Cortez in no man's land. A quick 1-3 double play to make up for what just happened, and that sends us to the bottom of the fourth. Larks up by 6 on Larks Network.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Bottom of the fourth, Cam Pearson leading it off, and this one drops below his knees, 1-0. Sends this one off the inside of his bat, and it'll be a line out to first base. Covey gets to it. 2 pitches and 1 out for Cesar Loma in his 4th inning of work. So a nice swing, but just off the inside of his bat for an unfortunate loud out, number 1. Loma has now retired 5 straight Larks. Leo will end that run pretty quickly. 1 pitch and 1 swing in the bat, and he picks up a single. His 2nd hit of the ball game has a triple, 3 RBIs. So now to Grant Schmidt, who walked and scored in the 1st inning and flew out to Keener in the 2nd. It's the 7th hit of the ball game for your Larks. Leo Jimeon takes off for 2nd, but a foul ball will send him back to 1st. Leo likes to run. Led the team in stolen bases last year with 8. 0-1, and we won't get a second pitch as Jimeon slides safely back into first base. Second check over at Jimeon. He's back in safely. has a lot of speed. Love to see a race between him and Tyler Palmer for fastest guy on the team, but Larks are happy to have both guys. Grant Schmidt spent 2 years at Cloud County, and his last year there, his 2019 sophomore campaign, led the team in RBIs and home runs with 51 and 13 respectively. No balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder from Hastings, Nebraska. Sends this one back to the backstop, 0-2. Larks fans, make sure you follow Larks on Twitter and on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. The usernames and handles are on your screen. 1-7 ball game. Larks up by 6 in the bottom of the 4th. Still movement in the NoCo bullpen. Jimmy on takes off. Schmidt awaits a slow breaking ball and pulls it foul. We'll stay at 0-2. And for Loma, that was pitch number 98. He'll deliver home. Miss above the letters. 1-2. Grant in his career at Fort Hays, batting .323, has a on-base percentage above 400, and has scored 58 times. He's already scored once in a Larks uniform today. He's familiar with Larks Park. We share this field with Fort Hays. 2-2. Omar looks in, gets the sign from Mendoza, agrees with it, and will deliver from the stretch. Jimmy On takes off. This one's grounded up the middle. Hamill gets to it. Jimmy On's in safely at second, but Schmidt is not at first. It'll advance the runner to second base into scoring position. Jimmy On at second. To the plate now is Sam Crowell, who has walked in the second inning and hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. And that will be a day for Loma. Has already given up 3 RBIs to Crowell. And we'll get a new pitcher. We'll let you know who it is after the break. new pitcher in the game is Coy Jorgensen out of Otero. First delivered to Sam Crowell above the letters on an off-speed, 1-0. Jorgensen, a left-handed freshman sitting at 5'9", out of Greeley, Colorado. Made 4 appearances in his lone year at JUCO. Through 9 2/3 innings, struck out 8, and had an ERA of 11.17. 1-0 to Crowell becomes 2-0. That is Leo Jimion in scoring position at second base. He's already scored once and driven in, he has not scored once. He did drive in 3. Sam Crowell at the plate has also driven in 3 and scored 1 run. These two guys at home plate and at second base have combined for 6 total runs. And he hits another one hard to left field. And this one is going to drop in fair territory. Leo Jimion will score easily from second base. And Crowell will trot into second base. He has a double, a home run, and a walk. And now 4 RBIs along with a run scored. Jimion now has 3 RBIs and a run scored. So you can't have a better debut so far if you're Sam Crowell. And that makes it a 8-1 ball game. The Larks inch closer to a run rule. And Zach Henry will run for his teammates, courtesy. And Crowell heads back to dugout and gives a lot of fist bumps and love from his teammates as he's having a great day on the diamond for his Larks debut. Palmer Hutchison is in front of a changeup on the first pitch for a strike. Hutch on the day 0 for 0 with 2 walks and hasn't gone past first base on those. Henry at second. And Palmer Hutchison awaits his delivery from Jorgensen. This one misses outside, 1-1. So Loma finishes his day with 102 pitches. Half of those are strikes. Allowed 7 earned runs with 3 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 7 hits. Hutchison sees another slower off speed and waits on this one, just still a little bit too much in front of it. So Jorgensen takes something off his off speed, and it has worked so far against his second hitter he's faced. One and two, he sends this one to the hot corner. Bakovic fields it, and one third baseman grounds out to the other, and Hutch will record his first at-bat of the season. It's a ground out. Larks get 1 in the 4th. They lead 8-1 here on Larks Network as we head to the 5th. Top of the fifth we go on Larks Network. Leading off will be Jacob Bannister, the right fielder, who struck out to end the top of the second. It's his first look at Jackson Blue, whose fastball misses low and outside, 1-0. Bannister out of Northern Colorado is a freshman. And we'll watch this one, 1-1. Jackson Blue, the tallest player on the Larks roster, sitting at 6'5". And gets Bannister ahead of this one. Breaking ball counts for a strike. On deck is Nash Phillips in the hole, Tyler Hamill for the Roughnecks. Blue will go from the windup, and a nice breaking pitch will catch the zone, and we'll get a swing out of Bannister. It is a 4-pitch strike out for Jackson Blue, and that is his first strikeout as Lark. Second time Bannister has gone down swinging. So now we'll go to Nash Phillips, who struck out to get the third inning going and reached on a pass or on a drop third strike. Crowell catches this one outside, 1-0. Movement in the pin for the Larks looks like Luke Terbeek, and additionally Trey Riggs. Trey is throwing pitches. Luke Terbeek is just getting some stretching out. But don't be surprised if either of them do come in today. And if Luke does not come in today, expect to see him tomorrow. 2-1, misses outside. Hitters count for the left fielder. The delivery from Blue. Fastball low and outside, a 5-pitch walk. It's his third walk as a Lark. Phillips reached base for the second time.
The shortstop, number 4, Tyler Hamill.
So now to Tyler Hamill, the shortstop, who flew out to Tyler Palmer, who made a great sliding catch throughout number 1 of the third inning. Top of the fifth, Larks up 8-1 against the Northern Colorado Roughnecks. Slider outside, 1-0. Jackson Blue has some nice velocity on his pitches, nice movement on his breaking pitches, and can take something off of them. So great arsenal. They'll look to utilize it here against Hamill. This one, a breaking ball, catches the zone, 1-1. This delivery is in the zone for a called strike 2. Due out for the Larks in the bottom half of the fifth will be Cade Brown, Tyler Palmer, and Cord Jackson. The bottom of the order. This one is fouled back as Phillips took off, but it'll head back to first base. And now Jackson Blue will be aware that he's wanting to run. So we'll see if he makes any pickoff attempts to Cam Pearson over at first base. The 1-2, a nice pitch. I thought he added up from up here. Home plate umpire says differently. 2-2. Runner takes off again, and no throw as Blues delivery took a little too long. And they will rule that a ball and a full count with the runner in scoring position. Smart play from Phillips to read his delivery and take off. Line drive at Cord Jackson, who will make the catch but not get to second base in time for a double play. Well read by the senior in high school heading to Nebraska.
The second baseman, number 28, NoCo.
So Hamlin sits down 0 for 2 on the day, and will go to NoCo Vitae with two-way and a runner in scoring position. The bottom of the order struck out against Wyatt Davis in the third inning, his first look at Jackson Blue. This one catches the outside part of the zone, just catches the corner, a beautifully placed ball for the righty. Vitae, the second baseman, out at Garden City Community College. Larks had one player from there last year, Corbin Truslow, who had a monster year and returned to Fort Hays for another year. 1-1. Sun's starting to set, and it's a called strike 2. Blue starting to hit his rhythm well here in the 5th inning. Runner takes off again, but it won't matter as it is a strikeout for Jackson Blue, his second one of the inning and on the season. He gets 3 outs through 4 batters and a walk, and that sends us to the bottom of the 5th. Larks up by 6. Cade Brown will lead off the bottom of the 5th, and he fouls this one off to the right side. On 1 to the DH from Colorado. One and 1 to the DH from Oklahoma. Cade, a 6'4" redshirt sophomore. One and 2. He was a 2016 and 2017 perfect game MOK tournament MVP and a 2018 perfect game upper class All-American. In 2018 Summer League, playing for the Victoria Harbor Cats, picked up a 4-3 record on the mound, and he will have a double if they rule it a hit. But either way, a well-struck ball deep to center field in front of the 405 marker, and shows off that bat, and it is officially ruled a hit, the second double of the season for the Larks, and the first hit for Cade Brown. So now to Tyler Palmer, the right fielder, who singled in the second and struck out in the third. but came around to score in that second inning. Comes up to bat. Listen to Young Gravy. Great choice for a walk-up song. 8-1 lead. He shows bunt, and it pops backwards. 0-1. On deck for Hayes is Core Jackson with Grant Lung in the hole. Larks will be back versus the Roughnecks at 7 o'clock tomorrow for Game 2 of this 3-game series against NoCo. Oh and 1 misses low and inside. 1-1 to tonight's right fielder. Southpaw on the mound, right-handed hitter in the right-hander's batter's box. Good matchup, and the 1-1 delivery from Jorgensen misses outside. 2-1. Tyler, a 6'1 freshman, spent 2021 in Lincoln playing for the Cornhuskers. And he'll have a hitter's count for his third plate appearance as a Lark. A 3-1 from Jorgensen. This one will catch the outside part of the plate. Full count to Tyler Palmer. Jorgensen so far has only recorded 1 out, thrown 15 pitches, allowed 1 hit. In relief of Cesar Loma. Off speed outside on the curveball, and Palmer walks on 6 pitches, and we head to Core Jackson. Second time Palmer reached base, and if there wasn't a runner on second, we'd expect a Palmer steal.
Shortstop, number 9, Corey Jackson.
Now to Core Jackson, the shortstop. Cade Brown at second. Core Jackson at the plate with Tyler Palmer on first. 1-0 to Core. Walked in the second and struck out in the third. Came around to score with Grant Lung and Tyler Palmer off the bat of Leo Jimeon, who is not in the hole. I was going to say he's in the hole. That is Cam Harrison in the hole for the Larks. 2-0 to Jackson. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Larks have recorded 9 hits and also recorded 2 errors. Jorgensen looks in, delivers from the stretch, and showing frustration on the mound, 3-0. So great opportunity for Core Jackson. Anytime a pitcher looks frustrated and misses the zone like he has, great opportunity to make an emphasis on those mental mistakes and put a ball in play. We'll see if Frank Leo gives Core the green light here. And the 3-0 delivery will be in the zone. He's looking all the way. Hitter's count. It's Grant Lung on deck for the Larks with Cam Harrison in the hole. The hitter's count delivery to Core Jackson from Jorgensen. He sends it up the middle on a line drive. Keener moves to his left and makes the catch, but Cade Brown will tag up from second base and be standing at third base. Runners on the corners with 1 away, and look for something low in the zone from Jorgensen to try and get a double play, but look for Tyler Palmer to take off from first base to try and avoid a double play. So back to Grant Lung, his 4th plate appearance of the day. He's 1 for 3 with a single and 2 groundouts. So Core Jackson now 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run scored. Cade Brown inches down the third base line. Lung sends this one up the middle. It's going to drop, and he'll pick up his second RBI of the season. And from first to third, moving all the way, is Tyler Palmer, showing off those wheels. And the Larks extend their lead. It's a 9-1 ball game. Runners still on the corners as they lead by 8. So Grant Lung having a great day, just like some of his other teammates. And Cade Brown picks up his first run scored. 8 Larks of the starting 9 have scored a run. Cam Harrison has scored 2. And he's at the plate now. And Jorgensen showing some emotion on the mound, but this one is called a strike on Cam. Grant Long has now driven in 2 RBIs. The other 7 of them have come off the bats of Leo Jimeon and Sam Crown. This one's hitting to center field. Tyler Palmer will tag up, slide in head first safely at home, and it's a 10-1 ball game. Sacrifice fly for Cam, who picks up his first RBI of the season, and the Larks continue to roll here in the 5th. Cam picked up 23 RBIs this year and picks up 1 today. So that won't count against his batting average. He stands at 2 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored and RBI. Jimmy on to the plate, a single and a triple with 3 runs driven in and a run scored. 1-0 to Leo. For Tyler Palmer, that is his second run scored on the day. So 8 Larks have scored at least 1 run. 2 Larks have scored 2 runs. 1-1. This one catches the outside part of the plate to the French center fielder. On deck is Grant Schmidt, in the hole Sam Crowell. 1-1. He takes this to left field. Phillips moves in towards it and makes a diving catch. We've seen a great flash of the leather tonight from the outfielder. Will it be Tyler Palmer for the Larks or Bannister and Phillips for the Roughnecks? That's out number 3, but the Larks pick up 2 in the 5th. They lead by 9 here on Larks Network.
Hey, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, hey, no. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, hey, yeah, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love. Hey, no, no, love.
Back for the top of the 6th, Jackson Blue returns to the mound, and Cam Pearson makes the catch, but they will rule this one foul as he kept his foot on first base. So Seth Keener is now 0 for 3 on the day with 3 groundouts, 1 to Core Jackson. Excuse me. And they will rule that no, they did not. Scoreboard shows that that was an out, but they did not rule it out. So he's still 0 for 2 on the day. So it's Seth Keener at the plate, the center fielder from Northeastern Junior College. 0-1 is found over the right side. 0-2. Nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 6th. Got some long toss happening in the Larks bullpen. It's a righty, but we'll see how long they want to take Jackson Blue. Slider misses outside. Full count and into the game for the Larks. Replacing Sam Crow behind the plate is the catcher from Hays, Kansas, Brock Loomis. It appears so far that's the only defensive change. So let Crow rest his legs after having a 3-run shot and a great game, and another extra base hit with a double later in his appearance. Jackson Blue will go from the windup, and this delivery. It's popped up a mile high. Brock Loomis ditches the catching gear and will make the catch in foul territory. So Loomis in his first inning of catching already makes his influence. Nice reactions from the freshman from Hays, Kansas. One as Gavin Mendoza falls asleep. Mendoza on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Came around to score in the 4th inning, the long run of the ball game. Jackson Blue catches the zone and the letters. At this one, no balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 6th. This one, he carries his momentum. Kind of can do what you want when you're up 0-2 and uses it to show off that velocity. This one misses just below the knees. 1-2. 1-2. AJ Cortez on deck. Jackson Bakovic in the hole. Blue from the windup. Oh, man, a beautiful pitch that Mendoza kind of started to swing at, and just the movement on it was too much. Beautiful pitch from Jackson Blue to pick up another strikeout on the day. 2 up, 2 down for the Roughnecks to get the 6th inning going. For Jackson Blue, that is punch out number 3 on the day through 2 1/3. Excuse me, 2 2/3. This one above the glove of Loomis, 1-0. Duo for the Larks in the bottom half of the inning will be Grant Schmidt, Brock Loomis replacing Sam Crow, and Palmer Hutchison. 2-0. This one misses inside. Only 10 quality at-bats so far from the Roughnecks through 5 2/3 innings of play for them at the plate. Blue has now thrown 49 pitches. This one number 50, and it's a 3-0 swinging Cortez, and he sends it out of the plate. So Davis went the first 3 innings with 35 pitches, threw strikes on 77% of his pitches. No hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And Blue comes in 2 2/3, and that is walk number 4 for him. He struck out 3.
The third baseman, number 41, Jackson Makovich.
Second walk on the day for A.J. Cortez. Runner on first with 2 away. Blue gets this sign from Loomis and decides he wants a different one. Shakes Loomis off a couple times, and then Bankovic will call time. Loomis sets up a little bit outside, and Blue delivers home a fastball grounded to Hutchison in the hot corner, who throws to Long at second base. It'll be a fielder's choice ground out for Bankovic, and that'll end the 6th inning. They're scoreless, or excuse me, they're not scoreless. They have scored 1 run, hitless through 6, and the Larks lead by 9. Bottom of the 6th we go. Leading it off is Grant Schmidt for your Larks. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out, a fly out, and a walk. Sends this one into left field. Phillips moves in and will make the catch. 1 up, 1 pitch, and 1 out in the 6th for the Larks so far. Schmidt did come around to score in the 1st inning, the 2nd run of the season for the team. So now coming to the plate is Brock Loomis.
For the Larks, the catcher, number 25, Brock Loomis.
It'll be his first plate appearance, replacing Sam Crow. Sends this one to third base. Bankovic moves to his left, and Loomis hustles to first, but won't be there in time. 2 pitches and 2 outs to get the inning going for Jorgensen. So now to Palmer Hutchison. Hutch on the day 0 for 1 with a ground out to another third baseman, and he has 2 walks.
Take it down to the stairway entry of the grandstand.
1-0. Ten hits for the Larks. Hutchison looking for his first of the season. He's one of 3 former Hayes High Indians on the roster, along with Brock Loomis and Trey Riggs. All 3 of them played for Frank Leo in high school and now getting the opportunity to play for him as a Lark. 2-0 to Hutch. Jorgensen delivers from the windup. He sends this one high to left field. Phillips moves towards it, Hamill does chase too, and Hamill will call him off. It is a 5-pitch inning with 3 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Larks still lead by 9 on Larks Network against the Northern Colorado Roughnecks. Top of the 7th we go here on Larks Network, and new pitcher into the game is a guy I'm excited about. It's Luke Terbeek from the Netherlands. It's a 6'1" freshman from the Arizona Western Matadors out of the Arizona JUCO Conference. And 1 pitch and 1 out for Luke, and his season as a Lark is underway. So Zach Covey is now 0 for 3 on the day with 2 groundouts. This one is to Grant Lung, who fields it. Luke is a knuckleballer. Larks had a knuckleballer for the past 3 years in Rustin Hayes. He's now taken his talents elsewhere. It was a great 3 years with Russ, but we're excited about Luke. In his 2021 campaign with the Matadors, went 5-0 with 9 appearances, struck out 27 and only walked 6. Now we'll get a look at Jacob Bannister, and Luke wants to have a chat with Brock Loomis about the pitches. So Wyatt Davis goes 3 innings, and Jackson Blue does the same. Neither allows a hit. Jackson Blue does have 1 run come across on him, but it was not earned. Davis struck out 3. Davis struck out 5. Blue struck out 3. And Luke will go from the windup. It's a fastball grounded at Core Jackson, who fields it off a couple bounces and throws to Cam Pearson. And Luke having a great outing so far. 2 pitches and 2 outs. And the Dutch Major Leagues, Luke made 37 appearances, struck out 82 batters, had a whip of 1.5, and spent 4 years with 2 different teams. Played with Hoofddorp from 2017 to 2019 and HCAW in 2020. Picked up 1 save and 25 starts. This one off the plate, 1-0 to Nash Phillips, who is 0 for 1 today with a walk and then also reach on a drop third strike in the third. Luke was the 2019 Rol de Man Award winner for the best young pitcher from the Netherlands. Gets this one in the zone for a called strike one. 6-1 righty wasting no time between pitches. Gets the sign from Loomis and will go from the windup. Loomis sets up outside, and this one is a beautiful pitch that he gets a swing out of Phillips on. He's up in the count 1-2. Showing off that NoCo ball. In the 2020 shortened season, Luke made one appearance and struck out two guys and allowed 2 hits through 1 2/3 innings at Arizona Western. Arizona Western has been somewhat of a pipeline for the Larks. We've seen several guys come from there over the past few years. We saw Jared Belbin a couple years ago from Australia. We saw Mason Myrie come from there a few years ago. We were supposed to have Gabe Pont come from Arizona Western a couple years ago, but he ended up getting drafted by the Blue Jays. This one, a knuckleball that will miss behind Phillips. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ter Beek played for the Dutch national youth team, the Dutch national U18 team before heading to Arizona Western. This one, a slider outside, full count. If the Larks can score a run in the bottom half of this inning, it'll be a run roll, and they'll win by 10. Ter Beek from the windup, the payoff pitch, and they will catch Nash Phillips looking his second strikeout on the day, and Luke Ter Beek gets a 1-2-3 inning, striking out Phillips looking, and the Larks head to the bottom of the 7th for the 7th inning stretch, up by 9. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the 7th we go on Larks Network. Leading off will be Cade Brown, the DH. Sends this one opposite field on a bloop, but Bannister will make a nice play on it. So a lot of guys swinging on the first pitch. It's paid off sometimes. This one it does not, and Brown goes down. Still is a double on the day and has scored a run. So now to Tyler Palmer. On the day is 1 for 2 with a single strikeout and a walk with 2 runs scored.
The right fielder, number 5, Tyler Palmer.
Jorgensen delivers off speed in the zone for a called strike on Palmer. On deck is Grant Long, who's already made 4 plate appearances today. This is the Larks' 4th time through the order. They have 10 hits and just as many runs. Palmer sends this one back. He'll be down to 0-2. Lefty versus righty matchup. From the windup, Jorgensen delivers. Tyler sends this one opposite field and out of play. As Jorgensen has come in, he's thrown 2 2/3 innings, allowed 2 runs, but neither of those were earned, and has given up 2 hits, 1 walk, still looking for his first punch out. This will be his 36th pitch of the outing, and it's an off-speed outside. He started out 75% of the batters he's faced with a first pitch strike. And Tyler Palmer was no different. The 1-2 to Palmer, inside. Jorgensen, every time he throws a pitch he doesn't like, does a little spin out of frustration on the mound. Jorgensen nods at Mendoza, gets the sign he likes, and will hit Tyler Palmer, who that's the 3rd time he'll reach base. A walk, a single, and now a hit by pitch. The first hit by pitch we've seen this season. So the most painful way to get on base, but Palmer takes it like a champ and jogs 90 feet. Let's go chat with Max McGuire at first. Core Jackson at the bottom of the order to hit now. 0 for 2 in the day with a fly out, a strikeout, and a walk. Came around to score in the 2nd inning thanks to that walk. And first pitch, Tyler Palmer takes off, and it was a good one to run out as it was an off speed. And Mendoza hits his pitcher, Jorgensen, on the left arm, his throwing arm, with the throw. And Palmer's in safely. That is Tyler Palmer's 2nd stolen base on the day. So the game-winning run and ending run is in scoring position. Jackson at the plate. He steps in the left-hander's batter's box. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Palmer gets his lead at 2nd. And Jackson fouls this one to the batter's backstop. 1-1 to the shortstop from Ontario, Canada. Gore committed to Nebraska, 2-time Canadian Premier Baseball League champion, along with a 2-time Ontario Baseball Association champion. So on the Junior Canada national team, Palmer takes off, but a ground out to Vite, who will get out number 2. Runner 90 feet from ending the game, as the Larks lead by 9 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. So now to Grant Lung for his 5th at-bat. He's 2 for 4 on the day with 2 runs driven in and a run scored thanks to 2 singles. Tyler Palmer having a chat with Frank Leo at 3rd base. As Jorgensen looks in at Long and will go from the stretch. Swan catches the outside part of the plate to Long. 0-1. Grant, a 6-foot redshirt junior out of the University of Sioux Falls, has walked 80 times in South Dakota and driven in 91 at Sioux Falls. Ground ball to the second baseman, Vite, who fields it off of a hop, and one second baseman grounds it together, and we will play an 8th inning. Larks up by 9 on Larks Network. Top of the 8th we go. Luke Terbeek back to the mound for the Larks. Check swing from Tyler Hamill. It's a call strike regardless. Terbeek had a 1-2-3 7th in his only inning pitch so far. Luke will go from the windup. The 0-1 delivery grounded to Core Jackson, moves to his right, fields it, and throws to Cam Pearson. And that will be an out as Pearson taps his toe on first base. Larks defense showing out tonight. One away in the top of the 8th. So now Tyler Hamill is 0 for 3 on the day with a line out to Core Jackson, a fly out to Tyler Palmer, and a ground out to Core Jackson. Now to Nico Vitae at the bottom of the order, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 against Jackson Blue and 1 against Wyatt Divis. It's his first look at Luke Terbeek. And it's a foul ball from Vitae. Hole 1 becomes 1-1 as a breaking ball misses outside. Luke gave up 44 hits in his time at Arizona Western, walked just 6 guys, but did pick up 27 strikeouts this last year. This one will be a called strike, 1-2. Luke still hasn't lost a game in his 2 years at Arizona Western, and this one will be above the head of Vitae. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 8th. Luke from the windup. This one just misses the outside corner. Full count. Luke from New Vanna, Netherlands. One of 3 players on the roster from outside of the United States. The 6'1" knuckleballer will go from the windup. His payoff pitch is fouled back and we'll get a second one. After one defensive change in the last inning, here in the 8th, the Larks have Schmidt, Jimeon, and Palmer in the outfield. Hutch, Jackson, Lung, and Pearson in the infield, and Loomis behind the dish. Luke takes his time here. Loomis sets up outside. The payoff pitch, number 2, is swung on a miss, and Luke's excited about that one. It's his second strikeout as a Lark. And Vitae slapped his bat out of frustration. Terbeek slaps his glove out of celebration. He's fired up, and the Larks are 4 outs away from a victory, if not 1, in a run roll in the bottom of the 8th. Now to the top of the order, Seth Keener, who's 0 for 3 on the day with 3 groundouts. 1 to Pearson, 1 to Lung, and 1 to Jackson. This one will catch the inside part of the plate, and Keener moved his legs out of the way, but Terbeek gets the call. No balls and 2 strikes for the knuckleballer out of the Netherlands. We'll have fireworks after this one from Larks Park for the many, many fans who stuck around. And right when Luke's getting ready to deliver, Keener steps out and calls time. Dope for the Larks in the bottom of the 8th, trying to put up at least 1 run will be Pearson, Jimeon, and Schmidt. And this one's grounded to Jackson, fields at the shortstop, and throws to Pearson. And the Larks get another 1-2-3 inning thanks to Luke Terbeek. And Roughnecks are hitless through 8. We go to the bottom of the inning. Larks up by 9. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the 8th we go. Leading it off will be Cam Pearson. Cam played pretty much everywhere on their field last year. Outfield, third base, shortstop, second base, first base, and even caught a game. Sends his first delivery hard in the gap between Bakovic and Hamill. And it's a single. So Cam now picks up his third single of the day. He's 3 for 4. 2 runs scored, 1 run driven in, and a sacrifice fly. Leo Jimion to the plate. He is 2 for 4 on the day with a strikeout, a flyout, a single, and a triple with 3 runs driven in and 1 run scored. Pearson gets his lead at first base. Don't be surprised if he takes off on one of these pitches. Off speed, high and outside. 1-0 to the French center fielder. Jorgensen still on the mound. It's only the second pitcher we've seen from the Roughnecks. And Cam does take off, and we will have no throw from Mendoza. And the run is at second base. 2-0 to Leo Jimion. Sends this one to deep right center. Moving back is Bannister in front of the 349 sign. Well hit ball for Leo Jimion. And Cam Pearson tags up and heads into third base. The game-ending run is 90 feet from scoring.
Leo didn't really show a whole lot of power in his first year at Clarendon, but this year had 7 home runs and had 86 hits.
Showed what he is capable of. And this year, he is swinging the bat well for the Larks in just his first game back. First delivery to Grant Schmidt above the letters, 1-0. He is under this one. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left fielder from Nebraska. Schmidt, 6'3" right-hander, steps into the box again. Played and started all 24 games for Fort Hays during the 2020 COVID season. Picked up 7 walks and 16 RBIs. 2-1 to Grant. At Cloud County, he was a KJCCC West All-Conference honorable mention in his sophomore year after leading the team in RBIs and home runs. He had 11 home runs in his first full season at Fort Hays. this last spring. 2-2 to Schmidt. Jorgensen leans in, gets a sign from Mendoza. Schmidt awaits the 2-2 delivery. This one outside, and we'll get a payoff pitch. Grant Schmidt will strike out on the payoff pitch. Tough one right there. But now there's 2-away. Cam Harrison at third base, and we'll go to Brock Loomis again.
The catcher, Brock Loomis.
First strikeout of the day for Grant Schmidt. Brock hits this one out of play to the right side, 0-1. Likely see Luke Terbeek back to the ninth inning for his third inning of work if Brock doesn't get a hit right here. Cam Harrison creeps down the third base line, trying to end the game. Brock sends this one to right field. Bannister and Covey move towards it. Bannister will watch this one bounce just past the bullpen in right field. It's a foul ball. Harrison jogs home, grabs Brock's bat, and will toss it to him as he heads back to third. Brock Loomis spent this last year at Butler Community College and redshirted for the Grizzlies in high school in his junior year because he didn't get a 2020 senior year. Junior year batted .333 with 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. Won the Hayes High Male Outstanding Athlete Award. He was a first-team All-Conference for baseball and was a 3-sport athlete. 1-2 to Loomis. Made 4 plate appearances for the Larks last year over the course of 3 games and had a .250 on-base percentage with all 4 of those plate appearances counting as quality at-bats. 1-2 and off speed above the letters. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs at the bottom of the 8th. Larks up 10-1. Jorgensen leans in, gets a sign from Mendoza, agrees on the first one, delivers to Loomis, who chops this one into the Larks dugout, and it will be fielded by Wyatt Divis. Brock stays alive. Brock one of 3 catchers on the Larks roster, along with Sam Crowell and Brady Evans. Crowell did get the start in this game. Brady Evans did not make any appearances yet so far. We'll likely see him show up tomorrow. 3-2 to Loomis. Payoff pitch to Brock, swung on and missed, and we'll go to the top of the 9th. Larks still up 9 with a no-hitter on the line. ninth. Here we go. Luke Terbeek back to the mound. Leading it off for the Roughnecks will be Gavin Mendoza. Terbeek delivers a fastball for a called strike one. Terbeek has retired 6 of the 6 batters he's faced, getting 4 groundouts, 3 to Core Jackson, 1 to Grant Lung, make that 2 to Grant Lung after this one, and has struck out 2 batters. He has retired all 7 guys he's faced now. 1 away in the top of the ninth. Don't want to do the old announcer's jinx on the team, but if you know what's going on right now, these next 2 outs are big. Terbeek will go from the windup. Loomis sets up outside, and that's exactly where his slider goes to. Brock didn't even have to move his glove for that one. 0-1. Before he came out of the dugouts, Luke was getting some words of advice from pitching coach Keith Harper. No balls and 1 strike, 1 away, and the no-hitter is over. And the Larks fans feel it. And it's unfortunate. So the Larks were 2 outs away from another no-hitter in the program's history. But Luke Terbeek will shake that one off, and he'll face working these next 2 outs to try and send us home with a 9-run win. Check over at the runner on first. Luke delivers home, off speed in the zone for a called strike. Busy night at the ballpark. Still a lot of fans hanging around after a great ball game. Through this great ball game for the fireworks afterwards. Concession stand's been busy all night, and people have been enjoying the atmosphere for the first game of the 75th anniversary season of your Hayes Larks. 0-2 becomes a 3-pitch strikeout for Luke Terbeek, his 3rd of the ball game.
Tonight's cash winners, $130 to Blakely Clyde. $100 each to Keith Wine and to Cody Ward. Congratulations. The batter is the first baseman, number 27, Zane Covey.
So now to Zane Covey after Jackson Bakovich goes down on strikes and finishes 0 for 4 on the day. Covey on the day 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and 1 double play. Lined into that double play, Mr. Jackson Blue's quick thinking. This one will be lined into center field. It's the 2nd hit of the inning and ball game for the Roughnecks. Runners on first and second with 2 outs.
The right fielder, number 19, Jacob Bannister.
It's Cortez at second. Covey at first with Bannister coming to the plate. Bannister on the day struck out against Davis in the 2nd, struck out against Blue in the 5th, and then he was the 2nd out that Luke Terbeek recorded in the 7th. Gets him to swing under this one, 0-1, and the Roughnecks are down to their final 2 strikes. And 2nd strike called on Bannister. The Larks crowd starts to make some noise. And that'll be the ball game, and Luke Terbeek and Wyatt Divis and Jackson Blue combined for a 2-hitter, and the Larks start the 2021 season, the 75th anniversary, with a 10-1 W. And that is gonna do it for this ball game. So Wyatt Davis starts it out, goes 3 innings strong. Jackson Blue comes in in relief for 3 innings, and then Luke Terbeek comes in and gets the final 3 innings. We'll take a quick pause and be right back for the Larks Network postgame show. back for the post-game show on Larks Network. Your Larks win it 10-1. So Ryan Divis comes out, gives 3 great innings of work. You know what you're going to get from the kid. Throws 35 pitches, strikes out 5. Blue comes in, no hits from him either. 3 strikeouts. Luke Turbeek comes in, throws 2 perfect innings, and then allows 2 hits in the 9th, striking out 4 over his 3 innings. Jackson Blue will be the winning pitcher, picking up his first win of the season and the Larks' first game. Notable performances from Sam Crown, first off, had 4 RBIs, scored once himself, had 2 hits, one of those being a home run, one of those being a double, and it was just a great night for Larks baseball as the fans stick around for the post-game fireworks. Also having a great game was Leo Jimion, who cleared the bases with his triple and picked up 3 RBIs and also scored 1 run. So Larks had 9 guys hit and 8 of them scored a run. Tyler Palmer and Cam Pearson each scored 2. So like I said, Jackson Blue will be today's winning pitcher. The Larks just dominated all the way throughout that one, and they send us home 1-0 on the season. Roughnecks now 0-1 after only managing 2 hits and scoring 1 run. New York plays for the first time at Larks Park this season. Always plays, if you're new, for Frank Leo, head coach, who is from New York and is our head coach. Plays after each victory for the Larks, and Ken Winholz, PA announcer, plays it for him tonight. But Larks fans, make sure you stay up to date with the Larks on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube to make sure you stay up to date with all things Larks baseball. But that's going to do it for us here on the Larks Network. They dominate through this one, win 10-1. They'll play again tomorrow night against the NoCo Roughnecks, looking to go 2-0 to start their season. But the Larks, again, off to a great start. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. We'll see you tomorrow night for Game 2 of this 3-game series on the 2021 Hayes Larks season on their 75th anniversary. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks.